too much.
I think. I think. By the way, we're recording. By the way, I think. I think two guys. I think a threesome with two guys is low key. I think it's low key gay.
Hey, bruv. You can't lose the image of seeing the boy's face looking real intense.
The vinegar strokes, bruv.
I
ain't never seen my boy do vinegar strokes. I ain't never seen my boy's rock hard penis, but it is.
Man.
And this doctor, what's his name? Alex?
Yeah.
Alex, the doctor. Fam, he said it with pride. With pride, you're saying with full vim. You know, I'm trying to say that, yeah, the threesome. Hoping that the girls will love him, think he's edgy. Don't say it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense.
He's 27. I was going to say he's a big man, but he's like our age. So he said that his last relationship was 4 years in medical school. So I think he went from being a young, immature teen to being in this young adolescent relationship. And he doesn't know how to be an adult about sex and relationships. Because I don't know about all the listeners, but are girls really impressed by a guy and his boy beating one girl at the same time? Is that impressive?
It's impressive in a different culture. Because
him and two girls, you could be like, he got the sauce to get two girls.
Because you're right, that guy, what's it called? The one that Danny Dyer's daughter, Danny, that's dating the Jack guy. She felt some type of way that he cheated on his last two girlfriends, but it was kind of like she ended up with him anyway. It's that kind of lad thing.
No, she didn't like it. And she just felt that she felt bad. She felt bad that that she'd prejudged him because her exes have cheated on her as well. So it's all understandable.
You see this, but the thing, Alex, he's such a better male. He's a beta. He will never be an alpha. He doesn't have it in him to be an alpha.
No, he doesn't. He just needs to find a sweet girl that wants a sweet man.
And look the way he lost out to Ayao. We think Ayao is a soft man, you know. But
Ayao was going for it, boy.
He stole his girl, you know.
Lips in ting.
He stole his girl.
Small bums, long legs, lips in ting.
And then, on cue on Twitter, her nudes came out because she's a stripper, innit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I think she's good looking.
Nah, bro, them eyebrows are hella thick.
I like thick eyebrows, that's the thing.
And dark. Yeah. But your hair's blonde. Yeah. She's like Alistair Darling. Do you know what Alistair Darling looks like?
I have no
idea.
The
Chancellor of the Exchequer from a few years ago.
I like thick eyebrows, innit? I don't really like the thin, penciled on, drawn eyebrow. I don't really
thick
like
eyebrows and then your hair's a different colour.
I mean, I think it's alright.
Let's be real. Are these girls...
Is she natural blonde?
You know how I know these girls are nice?
Is she natural blonde?
No. These girls are...
That's a natural hair colour, the eyebrows, right?
I was on ITV, I was on YouTube, and I was looking at Jessica from last year and Dom.
Oh, yeah.
And Jessica's so much good looking than all of these girls in Love Island.
They are.
These girls are not good looking. Not one of them.
I think there's what's her name, Megan? I think she's probably the nicest out of all of them.
Megan's not nice.
The one with the bushy eyebrows. And then I think Samira's pretty. I don't know why you don't think Samira's pretty, but
Samira is not pretty. She's drapes.
I think she's pretty, man.
She's not pretty. She doesn't even like black guys.
And I just think she doesn't have the heart to make it like Marcel. Do you know that's what I'm saying, right?
I think she has the incredible daddy issues. You know they always say that black guys that don't like white women. But your mum is black. But your sister's black.
Reckless speculation.
Samira out here talking about she likes blonde hair.
The Aryan race, you know. These times fucking Hitler shaking in his grave, bro. What the hell, bro? Can you imagine, bro?
No one likes her.
And the thing is, this is what really caught me off guard. Listen, you can like who you want to like in it, but my problem is, how could you not be attracted to the opposite gender of your race?
There's no black guy there, though.
I know, but she said that's her type.
When she saw the mixed race, to be honest, when it hasn't been given none of the mixed race guys love even.
Not even that. Like when they saw them two, everyone was expecting, that's my type. She said, that's my type. And the girl was like, I thought it was going to be the mixed race. Yeah, everyone was like, she goes, that one there, the blonde, the two blonde one. And then I thought I heard wrong. But in the next episode, she reaffirmed it. She goes, you're my type, blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm like, woo!
Meghan Markle really got you black girls gassed out here. I hope these white brothers are wifing you. I hope they're wifing you. And I hope that it causes beautiful families.
That's what we want at the end.
Because in Love Island, Love Island is not for black people. I've accepted that, and that's fine.
It's not.
I'm gonna watch white people act up and have fun.
And it's not even.
It's life.
And it's not even a show for you to come flex with your big job, because this show reminds me of Take Me Out. You know, in Take Me Out when you go, I'm a doctor, or I love my family. You were telling me, I'm thinking, but these are good traits, you know?
You can't love your family. You can't love your family. You can't have a good relationship with your mum either.
It's so weird, bro.
Be like, mum? Alright, man. F my mum. That's what you need to be like.
And this show is no different. Like I'm saying, like, I mean, I guess in Take Me Out, Take Me Out is there's so many girls. So like, if you're like black, there's a chance you can get some love. But Love Island, these girls are from some abstract places where not a lot of black people exist, and you can't expect them. You see Marcel, I'm telling you, Marcel is a champion because he fought through it. Remember, he started off with the biggest L.
Nah, Marcel just found the one. Nah, because the girl that even liked Marcel didn't like Marcel.
That's what we think. That's
what we think. So lie detectors don't count no more. So you tell me. Maury as a whole show has lost all credibility.
No. I think maybe I think that at that time she didn't like him. But you know, when I feel like love is born from like spending time with each other.
Yeah. So if your girl did a lie detector test and they asked her,
I'm out.
Yo, do you like a?
I'm out.
Don't be a hypocrite, fam.
I'm out, B. I'm not keeping the same energy, but I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm walking. That means everything's a farce.
Yeah, if I'm Marcel from that day, I know.
But it's weird because that show is different. It's like it's so concentrated. It's like
regardless, you can't be failing.
It's like a million dates just crammed into one.
No, I completely get that because that's what uni's like.
Anyways, Marcel, you see when you're black as well, you need a black barber. Because you know what I'm saying, like our haircuts is like a power for black people.
No, Marcel had haircuts. Yeah, the haircuts.
Who gave him a haircut? It was Ken, bro. He came down to do little lineups and it was Kim fade.
Hey, last year I thought Marcel was a beta male, but I'm realizing now Marcel was just playing the game.
But he
was playing the game in the house.
Yeah, he used the baitiness to his. He was almost an alpha,
and he was being nice. Yeah. He was the nice.
He played that role, Dr. Marcel.
Yeah, Dr. Marcel.
This guy.
The real doctor, it's damn.
It doesn't make sense.
How can my friend say Alex sounds like whenever he talks, he's about to tell you some bad news?
I'm sorry to tell you this, but you have tuberculosis.
Alex is a damn. And you know what? If anything, on the topic of beta males, when you're in secondary school, the guy who gets the most love isn't the one that has the best grades or has the best career prospects. It's the funny one, the road man, the good-looking one, the charismatic one.
Not much has changed either.
And I always thought that once we got to a certain age, that it changes. And now the content of your character and your career matters more. But I guess not. I guess between the ages of 20 and 30, secondary school rules still apply. I think maybe, in the word, my friend Alex always runs this home that these women be acting up with the bad boys, and then you end up in your 30s with a kid and no man, and now you want Alex the doctor.
What do you think Alex needs to help him in the show?
The beard.
You said the beard.
Alex needs a beard. I've done market research with 2 women. And they've confirmed that if Alex had a beard, it would give him some sauce.
A little bit, you know, sauce.
Some je ne sais quoi.
God. You need sauce. You see Josh, yeah? Alright, cool. He's mixed race, blah, blah. But you can see the sauce. He emits sauce. The 2 guys that came in, sauce.
Yeah, sauce.
Look at their first conversation with the girls.
Wes don't have sauce.
Wes don't have sauce.
Wes don't have sauce.
Yeah, but he has a nan. He's dating a nan. Like 29-year-old.
The 2 guys came in, they have sauce.
His sauce was the £1,000, spending £1,000 on a day, and she was like, ooh.
Yeah. Things changed after that. Things changed after that. But I guess your career, in your 20s, what we figured out is your career doesn't matter. And what matters is, do you have money and do you have sauce? So, fraud man, keep doing you. The pussy will keep on coming, my guy.
Trust me,
it will keep on coming.
For real. Alright. I guess we can start the show on that note, you know? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fraudcast. I'm your host, the friends. I'm joined again today by Stanley. Stanley's been with us before. And yeah, we've just been getting into Love Island. This is what I'm saying. Love Island creates so much. It's such a simple show, creates so much debate. But today, we're going to talk to you about a big argument that's happened in group chats regarding basketball, NBA, the NBA playoffs. We're going to also get into it just about the whole being a creative, the journey of being a creative person. And Stanley, who's also a fellow creative person, I'm going to ask him about, the trials and tribulations of pursuing this kind of career. But to start, we're going to get into it. Stanley, LeBron James, not the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James was swept by the Golden State Warriors. What's your issue, B? What's your issue?
Hey, my only issue is why do we play sports? Do we play sports to win or do we play sports to compete? Do we watch sports to see somebody win or do we watch sports to see people compete? And the NBA Finals, and the reason why I like basketball so much and why I stopped watching football, one of them was because football, this was back in the top 4 era. You had Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Arsenal. And football isn't really competitive. Football is the few teams battle it out and that's it. The rest of the teams are just, they don't really exist. They're irrelevant. It's almost like the only bits of the Premier League that are interesting is like the top 6 and the bottom 6. The middle is and basketball was the first time that every year there's basically a new champion. Every finals, every season, someone new steps up. And because it's a game where one player can make a big difference, it causes parity. But the issue is, now that you have Kevin Durant, one of the best players in the world, going to one of the best teams of all time, you have the greatest team of all time versus a very mediocre team. And that's not entertaining. And that's the issue, because I don't find that entertaining. But Avens and Amari and some people who shall not be named, they just want to see that.
Listen, Stanley, I like greatness, bro. I like greatness. Like, okay, cool. What's
greatness? What's greatness without competition? If I beat a 5-year-old at a basketball match, am I great? Or did I just beat a 5-year-old?
But then it depends what we're basing on. It's a basketball game, right?
Yeah.
It's a basketball game. We all have equal opportunities to get the same players, don't we know?
But that's a game between the GMs. It's not a game between the players.
Yeah, but you have taken the whole consideration, not just the players that play the game. You know what I'm saying? The league, the thing.
I'm talking about as me watching the game.
Okay, but I enjoyed it because you know what it is? It wasn't like.
What did you enjoy?
The team basket, I loved it. They took them to shreds, but they nullified all their. They nullified Kyle Korver. They nullified their 3-point threat. Okay, it's not hard.
Was 37.
It's not hard.
I could nullify.
And then the Cleveland Cavaliers failed to adapt to the way Golden State played. Golden State played the same game 4 times, and they didn't. They failed to attack.
No! Don't say that, because in game 3, Cleveland did a good job. Curry and Clay had terrible games, but they still won. Why? Because they have weapons. Whenever you play any type of sport, you try and nullify the best players. You play against Real Madrid. You try and nullify all the best strikers. You try and nullify certain players. The issue is that when they have so many guys, you can only do so much. Cleveland could only do so much, because not every game did Cleveland get blown out. Not every game did every single one of the Golden State's all-stars go off. But you shut down 2, you've got 2 more. You shut down 1, you've got 3 more. You shut down this, you've got 4 more. So
LeBron had a number 2, and look what
who?
Kyrie. He had a number 2. Where's he gone? He left because
Kyrie's an alpha male. That's why
some people can't deal with being in the shadow of greatness.
Yeah, but 2 alphas can't be together.
I'm just saying,
it doesn't work.
Stanley.
Kobe and Shaq. Aside from Shaq, Kobe. Those who don't know, Kobe had a case where they said that he raped a girl. Years later, she's come and said that it wasn't true. But in Kobe's interview about raping the girl, he said, "Oh, my teammate Shaq, he gets rape allegations all the time, but he just pays the girls off." Now, you know America, nothing stays hidden. This came out and Shaq was like, "Yo, you got caught out in these streets. If you get jammed up, don't mention my name." And that's why the Lakers dynasty ended, because they couldn't be on the same team.
So let me ask you this. Do you love dynasties?
I I love dynasties when there's opposition. I need a counteraction. I don't need one person just dominating.
Is it Golden State's fault that there was a lack of competition, or the competition is in their conference?
It's Golden State's fault because Golden State already had a dynasty, and other teams were starting to catch up to them. So what they did was they added the second best player in the world to their team, which pushed them so far over the edge that, on a competitive standpoint, this is the art of war. I understand, but because this is sports and there's a level of competitiveness to it, it's not fun anymore. Even if you're playing, eventually you play 7-a-side. Would you stack the team so that your team is by far the best team and you're playing against the worst team?
No, because it's a friendly game, and you know what the outcome of that game is just to have an enjoyable game, right?
So what if it was a cup game?
It was a cup game. I'm trying to recruit the best players. What are you telling me? When you go to that 7-side tournaments, you don't go with just anyone. You go with a team that's going to put you in the best position to win that tournament.
No, I understand that. However, if I know who I'm competing against, I don't want it to be a one-sided. I don't want it to be a one-sided game because of pure talent.
Listen,
I want it to be a one-sided game because we tried hard, we pushed hard, we communicated, we executed well, not based on pure talent.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, me, I've been on both sides of being annihilated and being the one that annihilates teams. Being on the annihilated side, I can't lie to you, Stanley. There's one time I went to 7-side. It was a 5 or 6-side game. We were down 8-0 in the first 2 minutes. I was dizzy. I was confused. I didn't understand what was going on. So I know what it feels like. But one thing I always say to me, and one thing I expect of myself is to always try. These Cleveland Cavaliers people, they gave up. Especially in the closeout game, wherever it was like 3-0, they gave up.
They gave up, but a lot of them are young. Rodney Hood was talking about. He recently joined the Cavaliers from the Utah Jazz, and he was saying that when you play with LeBron James, that when you win, it's expected. When you lose, it's a big deal, and the media are pointing fingers. They're not used to having such a spotlight on them, so it's understandable why this year they didn't achieve, or they were scared, they didn't perform well, or why they even gave up, because they're only people. And if you look at how old a lot of these players that are playing around LeBron are, they're all under 30.
I understand that, but you have to look at the way those kind of players play in this system. This system doesn't bring the best out of them. I mean, it maximizes like one skill of them. But that's it. Like you come to the team and it's kind of like your role becomes.
That's the coach's fault.
I'm saying there's a lot of teams in the NBA. You can't blame the lack of competitiveness on Golden State, because there's a lot of teams in the NBA that make bad decisions.
No, I blame it on them. Why? Because Golden State were one of the greatest teams of all time, and you didn't need.
Who says you didn't need?
Okay, so Golden State were one of the greatest teams of all times. Top 3, 30. And they're up 3-1. It's best of 7. So the first team to win 4 games wins. They're up 3-1. So they've got to win 1 game, and the other team has to win 3 games in a row. And they just have to win 1. They fall short 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row, they don't work hard enough. 3 times in a row, they don't push themselves. 3 times in a row, they don't compete, they don't execute, and they lose. And then they go and they recruit one of the greatest players of all time to join their team. My issue is, if I fall short, and not because of talent, if I fall short because I didn't do what I needed to do, I'm not trying to add somebody great to my team. I need to bear that burden.
But the thing is,
this is why their whole team, there's not really an alpha male on that team.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why they get on so well, because other alpha male players, Kobe, MJ, they wouldn't do that. They would have been like, no, we need to fix up.
So why is that not admirable? That's what I like about it. I like
what's
the team.
Admirable about
I like the culture. I like the team.
Stacking the deck isn't admirable.
But the thing is, what they did was increase their margin of error. They got rid of, they improved. They got rid of Harrison Barnes and they got Kevin Durant. You increase the margin of error. So when things like that, when the malaise hits, because when you go deep into the finals,
it does hit.
You want to increase the margin of error, and that's what they did. They didn't do it. They didn't do anything illegal. They didn't do it. You know what I'm trying to say? Everyone had the same choice, because it wasn't just them that went to actively recruit Kevin Durant. Everyone, Washington, Boston, Miami, they all had the same opportunity. But obviously it falls down to Kevin Durant, what he wanted to do. Okay, I can understand you blaming Kevin Durant.
He's not an alpha. The reason why he went there, he said it himself. He said that so KD never liked the fact that because he's so good, people expected him to lead. And he said, I'm not the leader. I just want to go out and play basketball. Like he said many a time, I don't even want to think about having to lead the team and making sure that everybody does what they need to do. He just wants to go out and play basketball. And because he's been blessed with a 7-foot body, but is able to move as though he's 6'1", and because he's worked hard enough, he's able to be really good on the court. But mentally, he is not a leader. So going to Golden State allowed for him to, I don't have to be a leader. I can just be really, really good and play. Now, I count that against him because I feel like there's a lack of competitiveness that exists within him.
If he openly admits that he doesn't want to be a leader, how can we hold that against him?
I'm going to hold it against you because just the same way that I'll hold it against him in the sense that when I look at him compared to the other greats, because he has the physical tools and even the skill set to be the greatest of all time. No one can guard him,
okay.
But mentally he doesn't have it, and I count that against him. Mentally, he doesn't have it. I can't rely on him to pick up those around him. I can't rely on him when the walls are closing in for him to be the rock that holds people up. Same way LeBron has the same issue, and it was shown in these playoffs.
Who's a killer nowadays though? Who is the actual killer?
Westbrook.
He's not a killer, man. He's not an efficient killer at all.
Yeah, he's an inefficient killer.
Yeah, exactly.
He's an inefficient killer, but he's a killer. He's a killer these days.
That means if he's an insufficient
Draymond
killer,
Green is a killer.
How are you comparing kickers? I feel like the killer's in another era. So who's the last guy? I'd say like a Kobe Bryant or a Gilbert Arenas that would just take that shit.
Yeah,
that would take that shit. Who's that? Allen Iverson. Killers. There's none of that now, so like the game has changed.
But that's the issue that people have is that, and I don't think this is just a basketball thing, but society in general is the whole participation trophies. Like even now, I took my little brother 2 years ago to start year 7, and there was like an open day, and they told us that there's no grades anymore. Instead, that every child they do like an assessment test to see where you are, and you get like a level out of 9. And as you improve, your level goes up. However, there's not one set grading system to rank all of you in. This, I don't even know what sociologist thought that was a good idea, because I completely disagree. Even though I was good I did well in school, there's no competitiveness. There's no, I need to achieve. There's no set standard. Everybody gets a clap. Oh, you improved a bit. Congratulations. You get a clap. Even if your clap means you went from an F to a D. Everybody gets a clap. And a lot of these young athletes now, it's not the same. It's not hungry anymore. There's no fervor. There's even barely any animosity now. Like between players.
Well, I feel like in this game now, you don't even need to be that to win now. It's changed too much. You don't have to be a killer to win now.
No, the thing is, you do. And the issue is that Golden State is really like the first team to where the best, well, in a little while now, where the best players aren't really the killer when it comes to basketball. But Draymond is still a killer. So I want to know, I understand these concepts in basketball, and going back into the past, the teams that won before Golden State, they usually had a guy. The Miami teams, the guy was D Wade. The Spurs teams, the guy was Tim Duncan. Does this same thing exist in football? Over the years, have football players become less hungry, less alpha? Is there less Roy Keanes in the world? Is there a Roy Keane in the Premier League?
No.
Do you think Roy Keane would work in this Premier League?
In a sense, yeah, but I feel like the huge wages have really like nullified that killer instinct in people. Of course, you still have the killer instincts in Ronaldo and Messi. They're untouchables, and there is some of that you see in some of them, but it doesn't come out as often. You know what I'm saying? Neymar has the ability to be a killer. He knows he's the best player on the pitch, but he doesn't really have that killer drive. Like, yeah, I'm gonna put the team on back and just do it. You know what I'm saying? He did it in the World Cup, when they had the World Cup in Brazil. He was seen as that figure, the leader, but injury happened to him, and The guy almost broke his back, and then they lost 7-1 against Brazil. Against Germany. So it happens. But the thing, going back to Golden State. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I like Golden State. The reason why I like Boston. I like team oriented thing. I don't like having just one player. I think there's a time and place for that. Look, fourth quarter, like you need someone. Everyone's looking for that number one person. Just put your team on the back and just take us to victory. But I feel like when the whole game plan is based on one or two players, I don't really like it. Golden State, alright, cool. They have the best players in the world, yeah. But the way they move the ball around, I know you said the basketball is not the shooting the threes, but the things like Curry will dish the ball out. He will run to his spot. He will sprint to his spot. Curry is so fascinating to watch because he never stops moving. He causes so many matchup problems. And the thing that they're all selfless, the culture that they're all selfless, that on a given night it will be different killers. That KD might take it one night, Curry might take it one night, Clay might go off for 40 points in another night. I'm trying to say, I like all aspects of that together. And it was nice to see, okay, cool, it was one-sided, it was sweet, but they still displayed that level of greatness on show, and with little effort. That's what I'm saying. All right, cool.
I want to see effort, though.
The effort was there against Houston. But everyone knew that the Houston Golden State finals was going to be the finals that everyone wanted to watch anyway. It's not my fault LeBron doesn't want to go, he wants to stay in the East. The East is not that good, bro.
Hey, he was winning the championship for his hometown.
He did it, but
Cleveland.
You know what? Curry is one.
This is for you.
Curry has won more championships for Cleveland than Thing has, and Curry's from Ohio.
You can say he's won more championships in Cleveland.
In Cleveland than LeBron James.
Man, Curry needs to chill out with his bum ankles.
Bruv, Curry should have won the MVP, I think.
Hey, you know Curry's career could have gone such a different way. He has glass ankles, and I remember Curry having so much potential and the way things worked out. And the reason why Golden State exists is because of contracts. In a league with salary caps, because Curry was injured, when it came time to renew his contract,
no contract.
He didn't have the leverage. So they gave him a little bit of money. That meant they could give other guys big money. That means that they could sign a great bench. That means they could sign Iguodala. That means they could sign Sean Livingston. And that's what I liked, and that is what I really like. And I wanna turn that on. I wanna flip that to you. Generally, okay, this year wasn't that competitive in the NBA, and last year wasn't as competitive either when it came to the finals. The rest of it was, and that's because of the salary cap. If it wasn't for the salary cap, all the best players would go to the best teams. Do you think a salary cap would change the Premier League? A max salary, so that every player on the team's contract has to be under. I don't know how much these Premier League guys are getting paid now. Yeah. In the NBA, it's like 100. You know, funny thing is the pay isn't that different, but
they pay differently.
Yeah, they pay weekly. So weekly, you know, like his job seekers.
It is weekly.
Yeah, I know.
200 a week, 200,000 a week.
The Premier League pay like his job seekers allowance,
and that's because the TV money just keeps getting higher and higher, and people and the inflation of transfer prices getting higher and higher, so it'll be hard to police. Obviously,
no. Let's say you said every team's max salary has to be 150 million. Every team.
I think it'll be better for the purity.
Do you think it will change things though? Do you think that
it will change things, and it'll be it'll be beneficial for England as well, because now you'll be forced to rely on your youth system.
Okay.
Because England have crazy talent in this country that just fall through the cracks.
You think?
Yeah, because look what Chelsea are doing. Chelsea have a farm of young talent.
They be grabbing people from all over the place though.
Yeah, and even England talent, they grab them and Man City just grab talent and then they stockpile them, they just flip them.
Yeah, but
get your money, big man.
Do you feel like the players don't get a chance to develop because they're on loan almost constantly?
No, yeah, that and because everyone is the Premier League is so cutthroat, especially for like teams in the lower half. You can lose your job on a switch of a hat. Especially in the top
What do you mean,
half.
the managers?
Yeah, you don't get enough time. You see Wenger got given time, even when he failed.
I think that's
time.
The saddest thing about Wenger. I feel like he's the last one.
He's the remnant.
He's the last of the old guard changing. Now we're back. Now we are officially in 3 years, and he's out.
Listen, people rate Jose Mourinho as one of the best managers out there, but even his job is never safe. I'm saying that the margin of error in the Premier League, because so much is at stake. There's so much money involved. Look at that. When you get promoted, that when Fulham got promoted to the Premier League, that's like 100+ million for just winning that one game, B.
For real?
Yeah, and it keeps going up. It keeps going up. The money is stupid. The money is true. They get so much money for TV rights, but one thing, we still can't watch matches at 3 p.m. on TV. You have to watch it illegally.
Yeah, what?
I don't get it. You see, I don't get it. But if we did have a salary cap,
BT Sport.
Not everyone have BT Sport. It's people have BT Sport or Sky Sports. They choose because, but if I'm paying £50 for BT Sport,
well, Sky Sports is expensive, and it's always been expensive. I guess people keep paying, so the footballers, the contracts keep getting bigger. Footballers, I'm not gonna ever have an issue with footballers getting paid. I'm not gonna have an issue with footballers getting paid because they're just the bottom of
if there was a salary cap,
bottom.
People will even if there was still a salary cap, people will still go to the better teams.
It would be about location more, and how the team is run.
Yeah, to be honest.
So I guess we might end up in the same situation. If you have a salary cap,
over time it will.
People might all flood towards the big cities, and that's where the best teams are now anyway. In the big cities. Because it's taken a long while in the NBA, which has had a salary cap for about 50 years, for players to be happy being in small towns, and small cities. If we got a salary cap put in this year in the Premier League, people still want to go Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man City, Liverpool, because those are the bigger cities.
It'll be more about the managerial pool, and it'll be more focused on tactics. So I guess it could help in this situation, but over time it will just continue being. It will continue being this. It will just follow the same pattern. But I don't know. I always spoke about what would happen if we had a salary cap or if we had a draft system.
I don't know. A draft system where the young players come in through a draft.
Yeah. Or from schools and stuff, universities up and down the country.
Universities ain't good at football, are they?
There's quality people. Pro people that play for their professional teams play for the uni teams.
I thought usually it's because our education system ends at 16 that if you wanted to become a professional footballer, you just pursue football from the age of 16.
But it's harder. The thing is, I feel like having that kind of draft system will help solve players from falling in the crap because it's hard to pursue football. It's hard to get into football if you don't have an agent, if you don't know people.
Fill me in. How'd you get into football? So today, let's say I feel like I'm good enough to play.
Cool. Then you hire an agent.
Where do I find an agent? On Google?
Anywhere, to be honest. And then that agent, depending on how good that agent is, he will try to get you trials.
Would you send them game tape?
No, so the thing is, some teams like semi-professional teams will ask for game tape. The big teams won't talk to you unless they see you playing at a level, and then you kind of know someone. If let's say you're nobody, right, but you're playing for the conference team, but I'm an agent and I kind of know someone that works in Arsenal, I can get that guy to come watch you.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, not people have enough money. Not enough people have enough money to get an agent. 2, agents are becoming so greedy because anyone can be an agent now.
You need money for an agent. You need to pay the agent.
Yeah.
I thought the agent just eat off your contract.
Yeah, that too. But
this seems
agents are mad greedy, and because anyone can be an agent now, even dads are becoming agents. Everyone's being agents. No, seriously. Also, I remember.
I believe you. I believe you.
And the FA are making the safeguarding, and now you have to, because before you had to pay what was it, £500 to be an agent or something like that, blah blah blah. But now I think anyone can be an agent. So it's it's weird, and everyone's seeing how you can eat money. Like the guy that I don't know, that's the agent of Pogba, the super agent, Viola, but he eats. The Ronaldo's agent, he eats.
Of course.
He eats.
How much they get? 20%?
Fam, all that kind of stuff. Image rights, everything. There's so many. It just doesn't make any sense, man. So I think drafts might help.
I feel like a draft is impossible.
It is impossible, but
I think a cap is impossible either because too many people are eating. But I feel like if I was to start a sports league, I kind of don't like a cap, but I feel like a cap is necessary to pursue competitiveness. This is a conversation I was having with you. You said to me that why am I trying to maintain purity? If we don't have purity, then what's the point?
then it's a dog.
You wouldn't watch football anymore if all the purity was sucked out of football.
But the thing is, then I'm saying, okay,
if Arsenal became Man City, you wouldn't watch Arsenal.
A salary cap, yeah, alright, cool. Salary cap would add purity in terms of the neutral where it creates competition, right? But then you're just policing how great someone can be.
No, you're policing the greatness of teams, let's say, because you can't have a bunch of great players on the same team without somebody taking a cut. And that's what happens in the NBA, and that's the issue some players have as well. So if we've got a bunch of great players and they all want to get paid, you can't offer them as much at Arsenal as West Brom can, because West Brom can give you them big deal, but Arsenal can only give you a smaller deal because they need to pay everyone. My thing was, the thing is with that is, with the question of Arsenal, if Arsenal began to be run like Man City, as a fan of Arsenal the football club, because there's a lot of events that I see in Arsene Wenger, and I don't know if that's because the football that raised you, he's the man who raised you in football. He told me about a different kind of purity, innit? Like, yeah. I don't obviously, like, in this situation, what I want from my club. Could you accept a different way? Because I don't know. Arsenal is Arsenal. I don't know Arsenal without Arsenal. I'm only 26. That's all I know, innit? That's all I know. So would you accept winning if it was done the Man City way? Because the thing is, I always maintained I would not take Jose Mourinho at my team, because his path to victory is not one that I would take. I'm not talking about Mourinho's 1-0 goal rubbish. No, we're talking about money. Let's say Arsenal became money. How would you feel about Arsenal? Because Mourinho is that as well. He spends lots of money. Pep Guardiola spends lots of money. You know what I'm saying? He only goes. His projects are always teams that are like kind of like dead 30 already. Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and now Man City. He spent like $250 million on like defenders. You see my issue with Golden State now. But the thing is, Man City play great football. You know what I'm saying? Of course they're going to play. Just like Golden State play great basketball. Yeah. Why? So I appreciate because they've stacked the deck. Yeah, I appreciate the greatness. But me, for my team, there's different ways. So what do you want? Because a lot of Arsenal fans sound like they want money to be spent. They want a bunch of great players. It's like the Man City way. They don't mind because they want to win. The thing is, how desperate are you for winning? But with things, we still win anyway. We win we win the FA Cups and stuff. But obviously, we're trying to win. Football is cyclical, so Man City are not going to be at top all the time, kind of stuff, isn't it? Chelsea, they were the first rich team, and now that guy is not even allowed back in London anymore. Oh, for real? Yeah, bro. What do you do? They're stopping Russian oligarchy. Yeah, and trying to stop that kind of stuff. And I always said to my brother, who's a Chelsea fan, it's gonna be peak when this guy just says, "I'm done with this project, I'm out of it." You know? Nah, man, it's gonna be peak. Nah, it won't be peak. He's gonna have to sell the team. It's gonna be peak. Someone have to buy the team. The thing is, with Arsenal, I've been taught a certain way that this is my idea of winning now. It's become hereditary that this is how other fans might not agree with me. They see other people like buying their way to success. I don't feel it's the same way as what Golden State did, because Golden State they had good players anyway that they drafted. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's say, they begged for a better player on top. You add to your team. You never stay complacent. You add to your team. It's the rich getting richer. That's life, bro. Yeah, I know that's life, but in sports is. When I go and play sports, it's one of the few places where sports doesn't matter how much money you get. Well, it kind of does matter because of your time. But when you play sports, it's me versus you and everything we've brought to the table and our dedication. But sports is a business now. Like, it has politics. It has money. It has attachments. It has so much attachments to money. Like to pure sport, to rid sports or all this kind of stuff. You're not gonna have purity. But I'm just saying that you have to kind of strive towards some form of purity, just so you don't get lost in corporation wars. You said you like dynasties when there's competition, right? Yeah. Alright. Is it Golden State's fault that all these other teams are making dumb decisions? They're tanking. They're doing no. All the other teams aren't making dumb decisions. So you should like this dynasty. You should like this dynasty. You know what? Golden State were down by 20 points. 20 plus points to the Spurs. And then their center injured Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard has missed a whole year of basketball. Before he missed that year of basketball, the Spurs were beating Golden State, and if you watch that game, they outplayed them. They out-basketballed them. That's why I tell you, Golden State, they play good basketball, but when you're so talented, you can do ridiculous things consistently. But the Spurs are, and even teams like European teams like Lithuania and Slovenia, the US team is better than them. The US teams beat them. But when you watch them play the game of basketball, they play way better. Like, they play way better. That's why, that's my issue. Like, I understand the purity issue. I'm just really interested. You support Golden State, cool. I want to know
I don't support Golden State. I just appreciate greatness.
Okay, but if the tables flip now, and now we have an Arsenal team which has a rotating manager every 2 years, we have rotating best players every year.
I won't like that. But that's just me.
What will you do? Do you think you'll switch teams?
No, I won't switch teams because obviously you roll with the punches. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I was with them when we had that 10-year Baron. Like, you got to be there when the champagne's not flowing. And even when you don't really agree with the dictatorship, you don't just stop supporting Arsenal. I just become less infused about.
You sound like the girl from Black Panther.
But anyway, Stan, we've spoken a lot about this topic. After the break, I want to give you the daily notifications, and then we're going to close out briefly on the path of being a creative. So I'll see you on the other side of this. Yo, welcome back to the Fraudcast, and it's time for the daily notifications. Rafa Nadal wins his 11th French Open title after winning straight sets against Dominic Thiem. I can't pronounce the Switzerland name. Dominic Thiem. Well, hey, I want to know where Nadal would be if he didn't have them injuries, because he was up there. I remember that match against Wimbledon, in Wimbledon against Roger Federer, where Stanley, the sun had set, it was coming dusk, it was like some next tide break. It was almost dark, it was like an eclipse out there. But Nadal won in the end. But like that was Federer's arch rival, you know, and that's what fueled him. But Nadal seems to be back. He loves his 11th. I don't know if it's 11th or 12th. It might be 12th, you know.
How'd you get injured in tennis?
Oh, come on, bro. Like, he has like shin, knee injuries, kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a grueling process as well, you know. 5 sets as well.
And he's got 11.
I think it's 12. I'm not actually double check, but I think it's 12.
What's Serena got, like 18? I think he's got like 18.
No, but this is 11 in one Open. Can you know the different French? There's a French Open, Wimbledon, and the
Which
Grand
Open
Slams.
is this?
The French one, the Roland Garros.
Oh, okay.
Grand Slam. So he's
Roland Garros? Say it with the swag.
Roland Garros. That's how you say Roland Garros.
No, say it with the French accent.
Man, Gavin, man, you trying to give me
Man, tu parlais le français, non?
Gavin, man.
Roland Garros.
After his final sweep in defeat against Golden State Warriors, LeBron James heads into the postseason as a free agent, and he brings with him the carousel where he might end up.
In LA.
You think it's LA?
He's going to LA.
I think, you know what, I think because he even accepted, like, he said his legacy is already set. Like,
yeah,
it's not in question, so he's just gonna go just for life.
His kid recently signed up to an LA high school.
He's going to LA.
He's going to LA.
What, him and Lonzo Ball? Hey. And that diss track was kind of lit though. He went for him, but when he
I'm gonna get some ZO2s when the price drops.
When he went after Kuzma's dad. Whoa! It's a new thing now.
I think Kuzma does have a dad. I think you're just saying that I'm your dad.
It doesn't make it.
I'm the daddy now.
Hey, we ain't heard from LeVar Ball. I hope he's okay, man.
He started his junior basketball league.
I swear down.
Yeah, he started the semi-professional basketball.
Oh, he said he was gonna do that
to
as well.
compete against the NBA D League, and he's got the players. And they've got the tournaments and they're selling tickets now.
Hey, this guy just keeps winning.
People want to hate. I'm
telling you.
He's an entrepreneur.
I'm telling you.
All you black people that hate, I don't want to cuss.
Uncle Tom's.
I don't want to cuss.
Uncle Tom's. Alright. In transfer news, Roma have snagged the latest gem out of Ajax by securing the signing of Patrick Kluivert's son, Justin Kluivert, for a fee of 18 million.
That's cheap.
That is cheap in today's world as well.
That is cheap.
But Ajax sell cheap.
What is with all these, you know what I was going to say, what's with all these semi-fringe teams that are kind of good? They always have such good talent.
No, Ajax were historically great. They had Johan Cruyff, but obviously because they play their league in Netherlands.
No, that's when I say fringe, that's literally what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
As in, these good teams in small leagues will always cultivate great talent.
They always lose out.
And
the thing is,
lose them.
the only thing that will stop them is for them to win the big trophies.
Do you feel like there should be a European league?
There is a European league.
No, we have the Champions League. I'm talking about
Europa League.
An actual league. Like, not like one that ends with like a tournament and you have to qualify, but like a league, like points. At the end of the league, whoever has the most points wins.
So the best teams go in one league.
Yeah.
How would you decide who's the best team? So after their season, they go into another league. Okay,
here's a question. You know, you have Europa, you have Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
What about another league that is similar in that you have to qualify, but you don't win based on a finals? You just win based on points. It doesn't sound attractive. It's not a sexy idea.
Because the Europa League was not an attractive competition until they changed.
What happened with that?
They changed it. Basically, the winner gets to go into the Champions League automatically.
Okay, so I stopped watching football really in 2010. No, when Alex Ferguson left. When Alex Ferguson left, or Arsene Wenger's left, and you're holding steady because football's your sport. When Alex Ferguson left, I felt like my Man United ceased to be. But then suddenly Europa League gets respect. I mean, when it was the UEFA Cup, UEFA Cup got no respect.
Europa League gets respect because like I said, they changed the prize. So you win the trophy, then you also go into the champion.
But you go to the Champions League next year or the same year?
No, because by that time the competition is really.
And that really changed things.
It does, because it's an incentive. It's an incentive. Especially in a league like the Premier League, when there's like 6-7 teams vying for 4 spots.
I will say I love that though. I got real sick and tired of that top 4 stuff.
Oh.
I got sick and tired of it.
Or just the usual top 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's greatness, bro. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. Alright, in world news, Kim Jong-un commits to complete denuclearization as he and President Trump decide to leave the past behind them and sign a historic document during extraordinary summit in Singapore, which basically means there'll be no nuclear wars.
You hope.
They have finally put their toys away, Stanley.
Man, ain't gonna trust no colonizer.
Reckless speculation. Alright, we move on to the final segment of the show. It's been a long show, but bear with us. So, for those of you that don't know Stanley is a creative guy. He likes to create a lot of content. He designs many things, but me being in the same field as Stanley as a fellow creative, we come against, I don't know, hardships, trials and tribulations, and we just wanted to touch up on it. So Stanley, like, what is it that you exactly do?
I'm a designer, a graphic designer. I like to put things together in a way that looks nice. That's essentially what it is. So no matter what it is, my mind looks at things and tries to reconstruct them, to put them in a way that is more appealing to the eye. And that can extend to anything from fashion to video to clothes to text. Usually it's just a scope of having the opportunity to be able to flex and grow that muscle of my mind. And that's really been the challenge over the years. And I find the challenge for many people who come from lower income homes and ethnic minority homes is that, like any muscle in the body, you have to give something time. And when your parents need you to have a job that requires you to bring home the bacon, flexing your creative muscle is not the muscle that guarantees you income.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge. But betting on myself and trusting and spending my time to go to the gym with that creative muscle has really helped me and given me opportunities to be paid for what I do and to meet people and make connections with people all around the world.
Yeah, see, that's something that I think a lot of people can resonate with, especially coming from a black family where creativity is not really valued as, on the same level as being a doctor. And I think the education system is not for everyone in it. I don't think education system was for me. I feel like I spent, I don't know, how long do you spend in education? Is it like 18 years or more?
16
years in education.
But that's if you go to college and but 16 years mandatory.
Yeah,
because you only go from 5. like 11, 12 years mandatory.
So imagine 12 years, because imagine when you're a kid, you just want to create, you want to build like Lego and stuff, and like you allow yourself to make mistakes, and then school comes in and sits on top of your creativity, and you're forced to oblige to a curriculum kind of stuff. And on top of that, at home, creativity is pursuing a creative career wasn't really on the card. My mom always wanted me to be, I don't know, somewhere that had a lot of money, so I can obviously save the family or give the family enough of a platform for them to just be comfortable. And it took over these years, it took me a lot to convince. I had to sit my mom down and break it down to her like it was, I don't know, I was pitching her something, that this is what I want to do. I don't want to do that. Doing that, going for that banking role, going for that lawyer role will make me depressed, because I feel like I wasn't built to be to be in that kind of environment. I was built to be creative and to help people, just to connect people, support people and all that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of people can resonate with the whole parents thing, and I feel like it feels good to meet more creative people like yourself and to just exchange ideas and just bring ideas to life in general. But like, now that you come to this, I don't know, this nirvana of like creativity where you're in your own element, you're allowed to create certain things. What's like some of the barriers that you struggle with nowadays?
Just consistency. Consistency of clients and consistency of opportunity. But I find that if you're with anything, if you're really good, your work will speak for itself. And so that's what I find, just giving myself and applying more time to what you're doing. I will say, when you said that, especially coming from a black home, this isn't a black issue. This is a low income issue. And even for all the jokes that might be made in my group chats that wouldn't be appropriate for this podcast, I understand that there's a lot of even British-born people or people from other nations that also experience this. So when it comes to speaking to my parents about it, the main thing for them was economic viability, and to be able to show them that what I was pursuing would provide an ends and the means for me to survive, and also to be able to, especially being the firstborn son, it's a big deal within my household that I'm able to provide for everyone. So I remember starting off, in one field, wanting to do music covers. That was one thing. Reaching out to like a bunch of guys on Instagram, people get back to you, and now you do music covers. And what you find is, because you're reaching out to other people in the same position as you, you need to find your 40 to your Drake and your DJ Mustard to your YG. Essentially, somebody who is where you are, who you guys don't have to talk about money because both of you ain't got it. But what both of you have is a passion, and so you both invest in each other, and then when you eat, everybody eats. So that's the thing. So, but by working with different artists and by working with different businesses, I've been able to form partnerships where I can let some things go for free. I can charge a lot less because there's a partnership there, and we're working together so that everybody eats at some point. But just honing your craft, spending nights and spending time. I remember showing up to work when I was working at Nike, tired because I'd had 2-3 hours of sleep because I'd spent my nights learning my craft. And really, the internet is out there. If you want to be good at something, be good at it. You just have to become good at it. Dedicate your time, and sometimes you have to sacrifice your sleep.
I think consistency is, I know what the common denominator to all my struggles is lack of consistency, and I've made myself aware about that. I'm trying to work on that, and it's so easy to use consistency because there's certain days where it's not even just writer's block. Like, I feel like writer's block is a state of mind, but that's just my point of view.
A state of mind.
It's just a state of mind. It's there's like, let's say for a writer, right? Mm-hmm. To say I have writer's block, there's so many things you can write about in this world. So many things. I can write about this table right now, and why is this color. There's so many things you can write about. There's infinite amount of possibilities where you can write about. So I don't really believe him. So writer's block, maybe it means something else. It doesn't mean what people say it means. It doesn't mean, because some people attribute writer's block to, I just can't write anything, nothing's coming out. But I feel like writer's block is something else, like a psychological barrier that's holding you back. I think when I say I have writer's block, I think I'm scared. It's fear. It's fear that my work is I feel like my work is insignificant.
That was something I was gonna ask you about, because I feel like anytime you have a block, it's usually because, let's say you want to talk about this table. This table is orange, and that could be the mind state of writer's block. But when you're in your groove, the color of the table
is anything you
bounces like the amber from honey as it falls from the suckles of a tree. My point is that I, like you said about standard, and I feel like writer's block, or like even with me when I design, it's almost like a creative block where there's a standard you want to achieve, or your standard that you're used to, and you can't achieve it. You can't achieve it in that spot. What do you do when you get writer's block?
I get into my feels. No, for real, I get into my feels. But nowadays, I've come to accept that I'm too hard on myself when it comes to that. That's why I started to become my own therapist. I started to talk to myself more often, and just talk myself out of this kind of situation, and just feel like, you know what, like, alright, cool, maybe not today, do something else. Like if I can't think of something, if I can't write something to the standard that I want, I'll just do something else. I'll probably write a poem. I'll probably create something, because creativity is boundless. You can create anything you want to do. I don't really need to use words. I don't want to be bound by just words. I can just jump on a podcast, create content by talking to you guys, you know. But this is the thing. We're in this space now. It's quite interesting where creating content is now a commodity. It's valuable. Everyone's looking for creative content. Everyone's looking to plug whatever TV shows, radio shows, just anything, social media with create content. So like knowing how to create content is so valuable. I'm seeing people on Twitter getting picked up for their illustrations, because Bleacher Report are using a lot of illustrations. A lot of like just sports companies are using illustrations as a way to interact with people more, as opposed to just seeing numbers on TV. What happens if you have numbers beside like a nice illustration? You know what I'm trying to say? It's just nice. It's nice.
It's called
to see
infographics.
It's nice to see it, all this creating content, and I think I don't know what's next for me. I know I just have to keep writing, because I feel like this is okay. My purpose is to help people, so I'm using the means of writing to help people. I don't know if that means will change down the line. But for now, I guess this is my calling, and I just hope I pick up the phone and answer it. What's next for you?
To continue to grow, something that I've noticed that as many of us are, I'm 26. As many of our first generation people from ethnic minorities, that we are growing up here with the options that our parents didn't have. And so I always equate it to the hip-hop culture in America. Hip-hop is relatively young. Hip-hop started in, I think, the 70s and the 80s. And what has happened is those primary institutes, which were the founding bodies of hip-hop, have been able to evolve. Def Jams, Motown, which was soul. You had Hot 97, you had the Source magazine, you had the XXL magazine. When a new culture was birthed, it created outlets and opportunities. So we've got new radio hosts and whatnot. In the UK, after attending a GWAP event, which was really good at Brixton Jam last week, I realized that we are at the birth of our own culture, where now we have a bunch of young, especially ethnic minorities and black people. And the question as to why other ethnicities seem to look at black people and try and be like us is a whole podcast for itself. Well, the point is that we have a lot of power and we're young. So whether it be represent, whether it be Radar, whether it be the No Receipts podcast, whether it be 3 Shots of Tequila, whether it be the Half Cast podcast, we are becoming the building blocks of what will become the Charlemagnes and the Jay-Z's and the Dame Dashes of the future. So I think that's why I'm finding it interesting. There's a lot of creatives, but we don't have our outlets. We don't have our outlets where we can all intern and strive for careers in. And so for me, part of when I was at Nike, I noticed a bunch of young creatives that I would see on Instagram, and I found that, oh my God, these things look so cool. So I started an Instagram page where I used to post these things, and it was called 10th. And over time, it has transitioned and transformed itself into an outlet that I really aim to hope to be, and it is now, and I want the platform to continue to grow, to be an outlet to share and expound and let people know about more creatives, because hopefully one day we will have, if you want to learn how to create music videos, there will be an established body of work made by somebody who grew up in our community that does that can take internships for our children and our grandchildren. And then as a writer, no matter what field he gets into, he's able to create institutes and be a part of things that allow for other people to come and intern. People can come and get actual long-term paying jobs. Because we're all interning and stuff on these small scales because we don't have our own. I want to have our own, whether it be the stuff with Raheem Sterling. It's absolutely ridiculous, but there should have been I would love there to be a black sports media outlet that would have been talking about it a long time ago, and that has an equal footing with The Sun and Sky Sports, as to where when there's press conferences and stuff, there's, not to sound too pro-black, but there's one of us in the room.
Yeah.
There's one of us in the room.
Yeah, I understand that.
So when it comes to me coming next, whether it be through 10th, where you can follow us at 10th LDN, and having a team of writers who, the writers themselves, when I speak to them, they just want opportunity, and that's what I want to provide. When I speak to the people who the writers are interviewing, they just want opportunity. And it's a bunch of people who want opportunity, and we're just trying to all help each other have opportunity. And in terms of my design business, again, that is me having opportunity and me wanting to bring in more designers to be able to create opportunity. And I love working with startups, because startups are other people, whether they be YouTube channels that I'm working with to create new logos and branding, or whether it be musicians, or whether it be small businesses. They all just want opportunity, and we want an opportunity. And hopefully the next step for me, and the step that will always be for me, is to continue to create opportunities for people to do their calling, because we didn't have that luxury. So we have to create that luxury so that those who come, because they're not going to appreciate it, and even if they don't appreciate it, we did what we needed to do for the next one's coming up. But that's where my mind state is at. But it's hard when you're trying to do that when there's no one who's lifting you up. And bills have to be paid.
Bills gotta be paid.
The bills gotta be paid.
Hey. So that's the end of today's podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
The Fraudcast.
Sponsored by longjohns.com.
Still Long Johns.
I'm still plugging Long Johns. I'm plugging Long Johns. I don't care.
Sponsored by Evolution.
But yeah, guys, thank you for joining for another segment. We'll be back with you more later this week, or maybe next week. I don't know. I'm gonna see how I feel. So yeah, that's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from
Stanley. But be sure to follow Evolution on all the socials. Stay up to date. Check them out.
And don't forget 10th LDN. Come on, G.
Give yourself them self-plugs.
Come on, G.
Evan's got some good ideas. Evan's got some great articles. His series, Story to Your Younger Self.
Your letter to my younger self. Come on.
Your letter to your younger self.
But yeah.
Bring a tear to your eye. Bring a tear to your eye. Let's see how the other side live. And one of the best things you can do for yourself is read things about people who are nothing like you. And watch things about people who are nothing like you. It'll give you a great perspective into the world. And that's something that Evolution has provided for me. So definitely check out Evolution.
Alright, guys. Catch you next time. Peace.